Good evening, everyone. Welcome in. It is Tuesday night, so once again we are streaming Dungeons and Dragons. I am your dungeon master, Helkwithmon. Call me Helk. We're gonna have some fun tonight. This is, like I said, this is our sixth installment of many installments. Let me tell you, we are going to run through December with this, and we're having a lot of fun with it. So I hope that all of you are having fun as well. We put these guys in quite a few different situations, so we're going to have to see how they react. And I'm going to get ready to switch over to said stream in a second. Let me just bring up our volume. You're going to start hearing people, and they're going to start hearing me. Let's see. So switching over to our live screen, and I have to bring myself live first. That would have made sense. And welcome, everyone. Hope you're all having a good evening again. So let's introduce the players. Again, at the top right, we have Vicariously Awesome playing the role of Mara, the Night Elf Shadow Priest. And we have Scotty freaking out over something.
I dropped my phone, all right?
We have... You're in a house, okay? It's not on pavement. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I have your chat on my phone.
In the middle, in the middle box, we have Lord Fancy, who is simultaneously streaming this, playing the role of Gareth, the rogue, the Worgen rogue. And at the bottom, we have Hammerstein.
Serve the Dark Lady.
Thank you for the host, Vicariously Awesome. I appreciate it. And at the bottom, we have Hammerstein, the Death Knight Gnome. Gnome Death Knight. Whatever.
What say you?
Who has made the conversion to the Horde? So let's get to a recap of what occurred last week. So, what happened to all of our heroes? Well, Hammerstein, staying behind in Orgrimmar, had to fight Nathanos Blightcaller in the Colosseum to prove his worth. It was a terrible fight. Both of them should have been... I'll wait a second for you. Look at that face. Look at that face.
Mad Money, 11 months.
There you go.
I don't love you that much yet. One more month, and maybe you'll prove yourself to me.
There you go. Oh, is there any... Is this where everyone is? Everyone is in both, Edgar Allan Ho. So feel free to mingle in both. Pop out a chat, you know. So anyways, Hammerstein had to fight Nathanos Blightcaller in the Colosseum in Orgrimmar. Neither one really came out the victor. However, Nathanos was denied the killing blow on Hammerstein. And due to that, Hammerstein was given a choice: join the Horde or leave. And given that choice, Hammerstein chose to join the Horde. Sylvanas does not trust so easily, though, and says that she expects him to do what he needs to do, and if he leaves for 2 days in a row, she'll understand that he has returned to the Alliance. To our other two heroes, Mara and Gareth. Thank you for the follow, Edgar Allan Ho. I appreciate it. They were traveling to Ratchet for the Horde, right? They were traveling to Ratchet on undead steeds that Sylvanas had provided as a gift. An interesting interaction between SI7 agents and the war chief of the Horde. From there, the two had to find shelter for the night. And they did, in what appeared to be a hovel that had been long, not abandoned, but just filled with death. And upon resting there, we learned a little bit about Gareth, about his previous life, or lives for that matter. And almost, not by coincidence, they were taken to a camp of Night Elves, the same terrorists that perpetrated the bombing in Orgrimmar that these two SI7 agents had witnessed. They had interests of knowing who they were talking with and who they were spending time with when the Dreadguard of the Forsaken appeared. led by Deathstalker Belmont and his lieutenant, they quickly encircled the camp. Belmont made the order that there were no survivors. However, his lieutenant spoke up. An undead woman. One that Gareth knew quite well from a former life. His former love, Aleska, gave him the option. Him and Mara either leave or they join the Night Elves to their fate. With this, Mara and Gareth took their leave. And that's where we start this week. So, Gareth and Mara, you find yourself leaving the camp. You hear the cries of the Night Elves fill the darkened sky. Traitor, you hear screamed over and over again, followed by a blood-curdling scream.
Serve the Dark Lady.
Thank you for the host, Gatus. Mara is supporting Gareth as they leave the camp. You can interact.
I feel like this would be a quiet moment. Like, what could we possibly say to each other after that? You know?
You don't have to say anything.
Okay.
Do you just continue on?
We're both in shock, and we're just silent, and we're just continuing on. I don't know where we're going. We're just kind of getting away.
As you continue to walk down the path, the fighting, the sounds of steel slow down. The hacking sounds lessen. There's a blur in front of you. And on cue, the spiky hair and the glowing eyes of an undead appear in front of you. It's Deathstalker Belmont.
Shit.
Did you have a pair of horses?
We did, but they're gone.
Undead horses.
Yes, they were given to us by Sylvanas. You might know her.
You look at Belmont. His glowing eyes stare right through you. His face always in a smile. As he died happy. This is a perpetual look for him from now on. Even when he's angry or feels insulted, he will always be smiling.
He's a joker.
Belmont looks around for a second, reaches into a pouch, and pulls out a stone. It glows purple. He stares at it. You hear a sound in the distance. Almost like a galloping. The two steeds, responding to the magic of the stone, arrive to your position. He tosses the stone to Mara. Take this. It will serve you well. Know that as he walks towards you.
Oh. Keep going. Ignore me.
He starts walking towards you.
Shit. I got this. Hang on. You can
I'm sorry. It's funny.
You could have warned me. It's not funny.
It is hysterical.
Okay. Okay. I got it. Wait, I got it. Okay. All right. I got the stone in my hand. Purple stone. Right.
Excellent.
I got it.
He begins to walk towards you, the typical undead walk of almost lurching, but he puts his hand on Gareth. Know that the next time we meet, it won't be on these terms. Squeezes his arm a little bit and continues on past towards the camp. You have your horses.
I help Gareth onto his horse because he's probably gonna need it.
Mm-hmm.
And I get on my horse. And I head south to Ratchet.
So where you are, by taking in the sights, you're a little north of the crossroads.
Where's my map?
If you look on Roll20, you'll see the map.
Oh.
I should probably have that open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of should if you need to make a roll to...
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Hey, a lot happened.
It did.
Well, that did happen, so I can't do that math. I'm a little mad. Everyone gets one.
If you ride through the night, you'll make it to Ratchet.
Okay.
So you would be at near the intersection of where you either would go north to the Morshan Rampart, or if you headed east, you would hit the Far Watch Post.
Wait. Rampost. Okay. Well, we should probably head towards the crossroads then? Maybe?
Well, caverns. That's a great dungeon.
So,
I feel like Gareth still needs time to recover. I don't think that he can go all night. Ride the horse to Ratchet all night.
why don't you talk to Gareth?
How far are we?
About a day's ride, I would guess. Maybe less.
Good.
Do you want to ride through the night to get to Ratchet by morning?
The sooner the better.
Okay. If you think you can handle it, then we ride all night.
Okay. So the two heroes, with their steeds, set south towards the crossroads. As you approach the crossroads after an hour or so, you see a heavy orc presence. They've set up camp here. This is no longer a place where Alliance and Horde cross paths. This is now an embattlement. The horns that typically adorn orcish huts scatter amongst the crossroads buildings. You see fires burning in the night. You have two options. You can try to make your way around, or you can try to go through.
I think we should make our way around them and not risk any battle.
What does it matter?
Yeah, neither of us is in any condition to fight right now. so we'll just go around.
All right. I want you to roll a stealth.
Oh. I am very stealthy.
That's a very stealthy
Two
roll.
dice 20?
I...
2d20?
Aww.
Yeah, you don't get that roll.
What?
I was like
What
34.
That's a
It's like-
high number. Typing. Can we just take out the 12?
You need to roll again, Mara.
I did.
You typed it in.
You just typed 1d20 plus 3. You didn't do
Do slash roll. Yeah.
Or just open the dice thing,
Yeah.
like I do. Makes everything easier.
Oh. Oh god, oh god, oh god, I forgot the space, right? Yeah, I forgot the space. Sorry.
So you begin to swing around the crossroads. And as you do, as you make your way about halfway across it, you hear the thundering of movement inside the crossroads.
I
Look back tomorrow.
need to grab a horn. Thunders.
More lanterns go up. You hear shouting. You hear the snarling of wolves. And you hear gates opening. Six wolves jut out from inside the crossroads and begin to give chase to you.
Run!
All right.
Alright. We ride as fast as we can.
Okay, so you continue on. While in a short distance, the wolves would easily catch you. You have the momentum behind you. And while the wolves will grow tired, your steeds will never stop. Unless ordered to. The orcs swearing. Their wolves finally giving way after an hour of chase. You make it past. However, your stealth check sucked.
Shouldn't have let us get away.
I know.
Should have made a
I
fight.
extended that, man. Time
Should've.
for another encounter in the
Should've.
desert.
Don't worry. Who
As
knows
you
what
continue
you're
towards Ratchet, you notice that there is truly nothing in this area. It is as desolate as it gets. The sun begins to rise. And you can maybe make out Ratchet in the distance. You're not sure. You continue down the road. It's now morning. The sun begins to beat down.
Alright, we have to rest. We should stop now that we're in a safe zone. We need to find a place to rest. I look around for any kind of... Pretty sure there's an inn in Ratchet. So...
Well, that means you'll have to continue to Ratchet.
Well, I thought we were in Ratchet.
No, you see Ratchet in the distance.
Okay, well, ride faster.
Okay.
Forward.
Okay.
Right.
I pumped the nitro in the undead horse, and we... no.
Fuck, you drifted all the way to Ratchet.
As you approach Ratchet, you see a scene that has never been seen outside of Ratchet. Tents. Hundreds, maybe thousands. But these aren't the tents of war. These are just plain brown canvas tents, any which way that they can be put up. As you approach, you see humans, orcs, night elves, goblins. These aren't soldiers, these are refugees. All split off because of war. Some not willing to fight. Some having lost everything. As you approach the camp, you smell different kinds of fire. You hear different languages. What are you doing, Scouty? That laser pointer keeps on hitting the camera every now and again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm like, what is occurring?
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just moving my mouse.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my bad. Let's move off screen then. Oops.
You see the guards of Ratchet walking around trying to keep the peace. The bruisers. Goblins, but still soldiers. Attempting to administer some kind of law. You see people yelling. A human and an orc start screaming at each other. The orc bares its fangs at the human. The human raises his fists. Do you continue into Ratchet?
Yes, I am not getting in the middle of somebody else's fight right now.
Mm-hmm. You continue towards Ratchet. You approach. The guards are a little bit heavier right now towards the main gate. You see one of the bruisers walking up. Hand up to slow your advance. Hey. What business you got here?
We've like I'm kind of motioned towards, Gareth and the horses, and we've had a really long journey across Durator, and we just need a place that's safe to rest for the night.
You and the rest of them.
We can pay.
The goblin pauses. Pay. What are you looking for? What's your business in Ratchet?
We're just heading back to Stormwind.
Heading back to Stormwind, are we?
Mm-hmm.
He looks over at Gareth. What about you?
She leads, I follow.
You got gold?
We do.
More than you can carry.
I can carry a lot there, sir. I'm a goblin. You want to get back to Stormwind, there's only one ship. There's only one man in town that owns that ship. You're going to want to talk to Gazlowe. He goes, you're just going to have to pay me a finder's fee to set up such meeting.
What were you thinking?
I don't know. 500.
500 what?
Gold.
Gold.
Let's make it 50. Only because I like you so much.
I like you too. 300.
A lot of gold.
You know, my grandmother taught me a particular stew. Quite hearty, high on flavor and fiber, good for a growing young lad. Do you know the ingredient to that stew?
Oh, shit.
The bruiser stares down at you. Now, you listen here, young man. I've lived through wars. I've seen things. Your threats ain't nothing I can deal with. You want to get in? 200.
Do I have the coin?
You
I
don't.
I do.
Mara does.
I cast mind control on him because he's a humanoid and I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And in the shadowy depths of his mind, I say, you're going to accept 150 and you're going to take us where we want to go. Or I will trap you in your mind for the rest of eternity, replaying every horrible moment you've ever experienced in your life. Is that quite understood? All inception.
The goblin thinks to his worst moment of his life.
Oh, God.
He remembers being in the inn and not having any money for drink.
That's the
The worst moment of his life?
Hey, guys gotta
Goes,
drink.
oh my god, 150 and you get in. How about that?
Deal. I throw the money at his feet and I tell him to show the way.
Open the gate. We're gonna take him to the inn. The gates of Ratchet open up. Refugees begin to stir and start walking towards... Hey! You losers, stay back. This is official business, Ratchet business, okay? Close this right after we get through here. You follow the goblin in. As you walk through the gates.
Where are our horses?
Thank you for the follow, Pikachu. You're still riding the horses.
Alright.
Yep. The goblin holds out his arms and goes, welcome to Fabulous Ratchet. We've got dust, machines, gold, everything you could look for in a place. We got a ship. I gotta talk to the boss. I'm gonna leave you at the inn. I will be back for that other 50. Begins leading you to the inn.
What's the site of this city?
It's not the greatest. It's nothing slummy. But there's a lot of sand, machinery, goblins running around, pointing at things, blowing things up.
As they are wont to do.
Yep. A lot of shops. You see item, armor, weaponry aligning the street. All hosted by goblins. As he walks towards the inn, he goes, you can go have a rest in there, have a drink, have a food. I'm gonna go talk to Gazlo and get this meeting set up for you. I'll be back in a few. Don't get in trouble here. There's not a lot of your kind here right now. And he starts to walk away.
Try not to take too long, Goblin.
Oh, no. Never, ma'am. He walks away. You walk into the inn. It's kind of your typical inn. There's a fire for some reason. Even though it's deathly hot outside. You see a table adorned with food. drinks. There's an innkeeper that motions towards the table.
I sit down at the table and look over at Gareth to see if he's joining me.
Step aside.
Okay. I order him the biggest and best glass of alcohol that the establishment has to offer, because damn, the fool needs it.
The goblins.
This guy needs a drink.
Like, all excited, dancing around, starts yelling at the other serving goblins around, and they go into the cellar and return with an incredibly dusty bottle. Start pouring. It's wine. They pour 2 glasses. A goblin comes over with a violin and starts playing it next to you two.
No. We just want some peace and quiet. A quiet place for a quiet drink.
The goblin's like, so none of this?
No, none of this.
All right. Dejected, the goblin walks away, violin in hand.
Oh, here, violin. Carrie, why you gotta ruin the moment?
No, we do not have time for kumbaya right now.
No, there's time for kumbaya.
I throw copper at his feet.
Is it white or red?
It is red.
Ooh. Nice choice.
I'll grab the second one.
I order some food too.
Goblin goes, we got some boar. You interested in that?
Sure.
All right.
Try to find some bread though. I don't eat much boar.
Right away, ma'am. Returns into the back. One goblin returns with 2 plates of what appears to be meat with a piece of very dry bread on the side.
I'll take it.
Yeah. The plates are put in front of you.
I kind of pick at the bread. I'm not really eating it. I'm just kind of picking at it, and I kind of push the plate of meat in front of Gareth. And I'm like, try to eat.
I want to spin off about the violin playing goblin. He's the real hero.
Did you really have like a song prepared?
I did.
Oh god, I ruined everything.
That's okay.
Yeah, you ruined
it. Okay.
All the moments.
Oh no.
It's okay. That's okay.
I look at the meat. How quality does it look out here?
It's cooked. It's meat.
It's not grade A freaking kosher grass fed, boar. It's just boar. Just eat it.
As long as it's not sickly. I begin to eat it, chewing slowly, meticulously. Not really. Just chewing abnormally long on each bite.
Excuse me, it's gluten-free. So, you have some time to unwind. The goblin's taking a little while.
I don't look at him, but I kind of put my hand on Gareth's shoulder, without making eye contact.
The goblin returns with the violin as he sees this and starts playing again. Oh, darling, how I love thee. He looks to both of you.
I look at the goblin. And?
You broke Carrie. She's dead.
The goblin, knowing that he doesn't know how to play any more of that violin, runs away, throwing the violin. I have no idea what I'm doing!
The seriousness being dissolved. I turn to look at Mara, whose hand is on my shoulder.
I take it off because the moment's ruined and it's awkward now.
A wry smile begins to cross my lips as she laughs. Some song, huh?
It was I've never heard better. What an artist, you know.
Now I'm gonna crash it.
I kind of choke on just kind of clear my throat, not really knowing what to do. It feels having something funny happen and feeling like I'm gonna laugh feels awkward. You know, it feels wrong somehow after everything we've been through. But also takes weight off of your shoulders. So, yeah.
You know, I often wonder what they call it humanity. You and I, different in many respects. But we're very similar. We have humanity. Leave it to humans to think themselves above the other races. No. I find it enjoyable that we can still find a moment to smile in these times.
After everything and after being on this world for so long, I find these moments of levity tedious. They don't last, and something so fragile and just don't let it suck you in. We still have a job to do. And if you never want to talk about what happened, I understand, but if you want to talk, I am here to listen. Just so you know. Killing the mood.
I open my mouth as if to say something, and then close it.
I get up from the table and leave him to his drink and his food and go the barkeep. And
yeah, what do you want?
We need a place to stay tonight. Do you guys have an inn here in Ratchet?
You're in the inn, lady. You know
Do you guys
that,
have
right?
a room?
Do we have
here
rooms?
At your inn?
Yeah, we have
okay.
rooms. Looking to stay the night. Okay, let's see, your meal, the inn, 100.
It's for two. I need 2 rooms.
Oh, 200 then.
Okay. That's what I expected, and I put the money down on the table without even trying to haggle.
No. Pleasure doing business.
As he tries to pull the money away, I grab his hand and I say, I just hold his hand down with the money, and I look at him and I'm like, this includes breakfast in the morning, right?
Breakfast, yeah.
I tighten my grip on his hand. This includes breakfast in the morning, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I let go. I say, that's what I thought. Good man. Good goblin. Good sir. Good
thing.
Good god.
As she says good goblin, the rest of the goblins in the place
good goblin
like pause from their normal franticness and look at her and give her kind of a sideways glance.
I stand up taller to show my height because goblins are... And
Wow.
I say thank you so much for your hospitality. We appreciate it, and word to your mother. And I go sit back down next to Gareth again.
The goblin grabs Mara's coat sleeve as she goes to walk away.
Don't grab me.
What do you think? What, you think you're better than me?
Oh.
You think that because you can stand up over 3 feet tall, that you're suddenly above me?
I grab the nearest bread knife, and I whip it towards the countertop.
The goblin catches the knife. Sticks it in the counter.
Yeah, I applaud too. Yep. Don't
I'll have you know that this wasn't my first profession.
But this profession was probably safer and
it affords me a quiet life,
which is all anybody can hope for. Forgive our manners. We've been through a lot. It has not been a quiet couple of weeks for us. Apologize if I've offended you in any way, as I still stand up tall, because I'm taller.
The goblin pulls himself up the counter, looks Mara in the eye. Let me tell you what, miss. You tell that son of a bitch Renzik that the next time I see him, he's dead. He crawls down from the counter and takes the money and puts it in his pouch. Breakfast is included. And goes about his day.
I nod and turn around all wide-eyed and go back to sit next to Gareth, and I say, well, that was interesting.
Yeah, I'll say. I lean in. How is it everybody knows who the fuck we are? Do I look fancy and done up to you?
No, we both look awful. I've been wondering that myself. Honestly, there's a mole.
Leaked.
Yes, 100%. It's obvious. It's not even a question. I'm used to this with spies on both sides. There's only so much you can do, and this is why, you know, I know I seemed loose with my tongue for most of this journey, but you know, everything gets out eventually, and if it ever helped us to actually tell the truth, then there's really no point in keeping our cover if it's already blown. You know.
Elk, I finished my second drink.
What?
The goblin sees this.
What?
He finished the second drink. The goblin sees this, sees an empty glass, goes, snaps his finger. The other goblin runs over with the same bottle and pours 2 more glasses in front of Gareth.
Yes, but how am I feeling?
You're fairly loose. You are,
But you want to get demolished after what you
I look at the 2 new glasses. I pick one up. Nod to the goblin with the bottle.
The goblin at the counter goes, "Those aren't included."
She's got it.
I raised my hand. I've got it.
The goblins continue along their day.
Who else is in here with us?
It's just, there is no other patron in this place. There's just 1 goblin at the counter, 2 goblins running around, one holding the jug of wine, that seems more than eager to keep on pouring it. And there seems to be a clamor in the back, in the kitchen. You're not sure how many are in the back there.
I pick up the glass and I bang it on the table. I demand song!
Goblin peeks his head around a corner.
No!
I ain't doing that again there, sir. I don't know what I'm doing with this thing.
I pay you. My lady here pays you good coin.
Whose
You
lady?
get your ass out here, and you fiddle with that fucking thing until noise comes out of it.
The goblin, looking around, picks the violin up.
I lean over to Mara,
Begins.
acting like I'm stretching. See if you can scope this place out.
Begins to play a low, sad song.
I get up and go in the back like I'm using the telephone or something. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. There's a back room that I kind of...
Really? The telephone? Come on.
I'm checking on my kids. I go into the back room, there's like a corner or something, and I shadow form, so I'm kind of, just able to stealth around a little bit more, and I kind of check corners and look,
And I'm
I look
hollering out in the main seating area, no, something lively!
You hear... He tries to go a little bit quicker with the song. You hear it picking up. The song is much happier, much more faster pace. He doesn't nearly know what he's doing as a whole, but he's damn well trying.
Aww.
You are shadow formed in the back, which is a kitchen, and you see two goblins, one in a chef's hat, the other one with an apron on. The one in the chef's hat is yelling at the one with the apron on and throwing frying pans at him. Typical goblin hijinks in the back here. There is a stairwell down to the cellar in here.
Okay. I start to walk down the stairwell, peeking down below me before I actually go down there, so I can see.
It's well lit down there. It appears that there are bottles upon bottles of wine in this cellar.
Do I see anything else? Do you want to roll perception?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Did you see Mazer's story of the goblin?
Yeah, I did.
So Trop just posted a fan art of the goblin crying with his violin. I just thought you should know it. It's actually perfect.
Did Scouty leave? Is Scouty here?
He ran away.
Okay.
He ran away.
Okay.
Actually, let me reset this.
Okay, roll your perception.
Sorry, I have a... Oh, it's much better. My cameras were still loading. I couldn't see you guys, so it's... Sorry, I need to reset that. Better. Much better. Okay, rolling perception. God damn it, Carrie.
Welcome in, Walter Nate.
Walter Nate. That's good.
God. Mara doesn't know how to use her keyboard, and so...
Clearly.
Guys.
Oh, there's
Hey,
Hammer sign.
You're not even there! Oh, shit. Ah!
Yeah,
Suck my
Hammerstein went to go to the
perception.
bathroom.
No, that is not allowed.
Well, thanks, Scouty.
I'm
that was
sorry.
great. So you begin to look down and
Oh my god, booze.
and you happen to see another goblin with what appears to be a piece of parchment, just writing, eyeing all the bottles of wine, making notes, but nothing else in particular.
I cast Mind Vision on him, which, if you don't know, lets the priest see through the eyes of whoever they cast it on. and they don't know. It's not like mind control.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I can see through his eyes. So with mind vision, I see what he's writing.
You see a list of wine, and you see check marks next to got it and don't got it.
Okay, so this is nothing nefarious. This is just an inventory of wine, and it's just an inventory of the cellar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if I don't see anything too interesting, I head back upstairs. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
The goblin, having expended everything that he knows how to do on this violin, with Gareth clapping his hands, the goblin is in near tears. He has no idea what he's doing.
It probably sounds like pure rubbish, but I'm trying to attract all of the attention I can.
The goblin at the front desk is just staring with amazement. Here's a knock on the door jamb to the inn, and the bruiser walks in from the front gate.
Yes, yes, more!
The goblin with the violin sees the bruiser walk in, and he tosses the violin to the bruiser. Your turn, chief! And he runs out of the inn. The bruiser catches the violin, looks to everyone, just kind of drops the violin in place. Walks over to Mara and Gareth. All right, I talked to the boss. I got a meeting for you first thing in the morning.
Who?
No, don't worry about it, Gareth. And I look at the goblin, and I'm like, he's had a few drinks.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, it's okay. He's fine. I got him. We arranged for lodging tonight, and we will be here in the morning. The earlier the better.
All right.
This is a time sensitive issue.
After you break your fast, make your way over. I'll be here to take you over to Gazlowe. Got it?
Okay.
All right.
I walk over to Gareth, and I kind of put my hand out, and I'm like, let's get you to your room. I think you need some rest.
No.
I'm a little bit more. I as he flails his hand up, I kind of grab it, and I'm kind of pulling just a little bit. I'm like, let's go. I put my head underneath his arm, and I kind of lift him up so that I'm kind of yeah, just like that. Good job.
Okay.
And I'm trying to lift him up, and I'm lifting him up, and I'm kind of carrying him towards the room.
All right. So
And
you make your way to the room. It's upstairs. Make your way up the stairs. There's only 4 rooms in the inn, so you kind of have your pick of the lot, as the other 2 are unoccupied as well. So
I go to the first room that I find.
all right. There's a bed and an armoire. That's it.
We kind of fumble over to the bed, and I release him and let him fall down on the bed.
Good.
I kick off his shoes and kind of lift up his feet so that he's all the way in the bed.
Gareth crashes onto the bed not being well constructed. Mattress falls to the floor as soon as possible.
Fuck.
And
Are we being attacked?
I take his dagger, and I set it on the dresser next to him, or the nightstand, or the floor next to him, bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, we're safe for now. Try to get some rest. Just get some sleep. We'll find out answers in the morning.
all right.
And it's gonna be okay, Gareth. I walk back downstairs and leave him on the bed, and I ask the guy, the bartender, I'm like, can I get a glass of water, please? And I put like a few copper or whatever on the table bar.
Glass of water appears.
I take the glass of water. I thank the goblin very respectfully, and I take the water back upstairs and set it next to Gareth, and I check the room to make sure that there's nobody hiding. There's nothing, dangerous in this room.
There is nothing.
No. Okay. And I find the next room that's closest to his room, so I can hear if anything happens. And I go in my own room.
Again, another bed and an armoire.
Okay. I do the same thing, kick off my shoes and sit on the bed and kind of stare frozen at the floor for several minutes before kind of coming to. And I lay down, but I am unable to sleep.
Alrighty. The two heroes take their rest in the inn and Ratchet. We turn our attention towards Orgrimmar.
That's me.
Hammerstein, having been housed in the barracks in the Valley of Honor.
Bunch of snoring orcs.
Bunch of snoring orcs all night.
Like I need sleep anyway.
Hammerstein doesn't sleep the night, but it doesn't really matter. As morning breaks, the orcs all rouse from their slumber. Grunts, roars, armor being fitted. It's another day in Orgrimmar. The guard makes its way out to change with the night guard. And a familiar face finds its way walking through the barracks. You hear Zug-Zugs, Loktar Ogar. As a well-dressed man walks through. Well, he would be a man if he weren't a corpse. Nathanos greeting each orc that throws him a message towards him and arrives to Hammerstein. Did you find your accommodations well served, Death Knight?
I suppose.
So what does the day look like for you?
I don't know. Might as well get situated with the city.
What do you need?
An overall tour, I guess. Assume.
Nathanos stares at you. I'm no tour guide.
Then I shall go on an adventure alone.
He nods. Be on your way, young gnome. And he takes his leave. Now you're located in the Valley of Honor towards the top.
It's like here?
Yes, right there.
Alright. I'm assuming if this way is an exit out of work.
Where are you looking?
I'm just pinging. That's another way out.
Where are you looking?
No, I don't think so. The top right, where it looks kind of like a vein?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that an exit?
Yeah, that's an exit. That's an exit out of Orgrimmar.
Good to know.
Well, it's 3 exits then.
Yep, there are.
Okay.
So which way do you head?
Going to head towards the drag.
You head towards the drag. You can see Orgrimmar waking up, the hustle and bustle, carts being moved, guards moving to their stations, while this has primarily been an orc city. You notice a larger undead presence here. And why wouldn't there be? Their city was destroyed. This is the Horde capital. Yeah. And the undead city has been destroyed. Undead Dreadguard moved through the city as well, taking their ranks amongst the Orgrimmar Guard as well. So you make your way through the drag, and you see the shops. You see a tailor, a leather worker, a restaurant, and an armorer.
Towards the armor.
You walk into the armor and you hear a smith banging on metal. Sparks flying up in the back. The smith pulls his goggles off. Gives a nod. Loktar Ogar, what can I do for you?
Just new in town. Would like to know if there's any prisons nearby.
The orc stares at you. The orc stares at you. Prisons?
I guess not.
Who do you... The orc... We have a few prisoners. But... Do you know what Loktar Ogar means?
Shit, I forgot to respond back with that, didn't I?
Daddy's looking for the love of his life. Do you have any prisons?
Victory or death. That's the way of us, Death Knight. Goes back to banging on the piece of metal. The prisoners are held on the top level.
I say to the black, thank you, Loktar Ogar, and take
Lok Narosh continues to bang. So you exit out of the armors. Where are you going?
I'm gonna head towards see the prisoners.
Okay, so you have to head towards an elevator, which would be in the Valley of Strength.
Alright. It's there then.
Alright. You head through the Valley of Strength. You notice a large military presence in the city as you walk through. Greater than just city guard. And just as you sense this, you hear a horn go off. And they leave through the front. You take the elevator to the second level of Orgrimmar.
All right.
And you see a series of cages. All containing prisoners.
Do I see the, or do I notice or remember the mage that was in Stormwind that got abducted? Seen any of the cages or no?
There are a few humans. Unrecognizable. But you might have to inspect.
I will inspect the prisoners, I guess.
Alright, there are 3 humans amongst the prisoners. 2 on the left, 1 on the right. Where do you go?
I will go to the prisoner on the right.
Alright. Prisoner on the right looks to be a middle-aged man. Hair, beard, bent over. He sees you approach, and his gaze shrinks. He looks around. Have you come for me?
Depends. Do you have answers for me?
What? The prisoner looks confused.
Was there...
What do you...
I'll come back to him.
He goes, no, don't go!
I'll be back, don't worry. I'm gonna go see the other two. I go to the other two
Dejected, he sits back down. You see a human female and a human male. The female would probably be in her 40s. And the male in his mid to late 20s.
Alright. I asked the male prisoner if was there any more humans here? Or were you just the only three?
The prisoner looks at you. There were more. They're gone now. He lowers his head. The female prisoner assumes a similar position, non-moving.
I take my leave and just stick to the shadows for the Valley Strength to hear any gossip of anything else. Maybe ask questions of what the horn sound was about.
Roll a perception.
Okay, D20. Can't read my shit. It's all tiny.
Jesus.
Oh boy. Big ol' one. Plus one.
You hear some murmuring as from orc to orc. Where do you think she's off to? That was quite an impressive military display. That doesn't seem enough to invade something, but... Well... I trust the war chief in this. A familiar face is walking down the street. Lorthamar. Appears to be inspecting some of the rubble from the collapsed buildings from the other day. He's barking out orders to guards to help with the cleanup effort.
I head over to Lorthamar and ask if he needs a hand.
Well met, gnome. The Horde is always in need of a helping hand. What can you do here?
What do you need me to do?
Well, with your skill set, I would have you raise the skeletons so that we may bury their dead.
Alright. Least I can do with this travesty of loss of innocent lives.
Go ahead.
I raise the skeletons and have them prepare graves for the fallen.
The skeletons arise out of the rubble. A few orcs are taken aback. This is never a common sight. As the skeletons parade out, they do collapse in their own separate pile, so that they may be buried. Lorthamar nods to you. Thank you for your assistance, Gnome. Is there anything I can do for you, Lord Regent of Silvermoon?
Not that I can think of.
You have the ear of one of the leaders of the Horde. If you have a favor, ask it.
Well, I heard murmurings on the streets about a militia invasion. Tell me what that's about. Just out of curiosity.
Lorthamar rocks back a little bit.
Or am I going too far with the question?
I think you might be mistaken, Gnome. You probably detected a high military presence. Such is necessary when the war chief is on the move.
On the move, you say?
The Horde controls this continent now. However, there are independent areas.
I see. Like Ratchet.
Lorthamar touches his nose, points at Hammerstein. You follow me. This is not a military invasion, mind you. This is negotiation. What is necessary? We have no qualms with Ratchet. But
You'd like to have close borders with the Alliance, then?
if we are to close off this continent, like you say, it's important that we do so immediately. Anything else I can do for you?
Not that I can think of.
Lorthamar, in his typical grandeur, sweeping bow. Have a good day in Orgrimmar. Loktar Ogar.
Loktar Ogar.
And with that, why don't we take like 5 minutes, get a little bit of a break, and we shall jeez, and refresh, and we shall return momentarily. So I will see all of you in a moment. BRB.
All right.
Children of the grave, heed my call.
I'm back. Thank you for the raid there, Art is my voice, and welcome in everybody from that stream. Great. I apologize for my time to be right back. We are taking a short break from the stream for right now. The other players can't hear me, I don't think, so... But I hope you're all doing great. I was just getting a beverage, and I know that Fancy had to take a break. So, just to catch you all up, Hammerstein has been exploring Orgrimmar, figuring out what's going on there. Mara and Gareth are in Ratchet, attempting to find passage overseas. And that's where we are right now. So we're having a lot of fun. Knight X Shield, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. For the Horde.
The Horde will never die.
Welcome in. Thank you all for hanging out and coming in here. We've got quite a bit left, so I hope that you stick around. I'm gonna start this back up. How easy is it to get started in D&D? It's, you know, it all depends. Because, like, I've had to craft this. I have, and hashtag for the Horde, exactly. Right. Orangeniku. So, I've crafted this to last through all of October, all of November, and we're gonna end this campaign in December, one way or another. So it all depends on what your dungeon master does. It's easy to get started, but it's one of those things where you have to have somebody who really cares about the story, because we're doing a lot of RP and RP rolling, whereas, you know, a lot of other people do a lot more, you know, strict rolling. We roll to see if something else will happen. But it's easy. Just find friends and do something, you know? I mean, just get going. That's what I do. You know, I mean, I wanted to do a Warcraft-themed D&D, and that's what we're doing. So, but yeah. And we're going to do another one. This is our Alliance campaign. Our Horde campaign starts up in November. So if you're interested, yep. Because the Horde campaign will overlap with this one, and there's a reason. My best friend and I are trying to get into it ourselves. He watches a lot of Critical Role. Yep, Critical Role. I have next to no knowledge on how it works. Well, it's not very difficult. Yeah, full rule set is kind of rough, but you can. I mean, if you really want to, when you run the game, whoever runs the game can be as strict with it or as not strict. And I'm not very strict. I don't micromanage a lot. I'm very much one of those people. So I'm gonna see if people are coming back from the call. He isn't back yet. But that's okay. I hope that you're all gonna stick around and everything. We'll have a lot of fun here. I'm gonna play Beerus' music now. Because I like this song. Just to put a little bit of sound over. So yeah. No, I think that it's very easy to get involved, but you have to plan. That's a little loud. Jeez. I like it, though. Alright, I think we're just about ready to get going again. I'm going to turn up the volume here and switch over to our view. So give me a second here. Let me do this.
I've been talkative. I'm proud of myself. I'm making leaps and bounds.
I've been talkative. I've been making leaps and bounds. So here we are. So I'm going to switch over to the live screen now. So, we're waiting on Carrie.
Are you about to switch back to us?
You're back on, yeah.
Hello, chat.
No, are you going to switch back to us?
Yeah, you're on here. I mean, I
No,
can...
he means
No,
Gareth
he
and
means the
Mara.
live chat. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Yes, I am. Is that okay?
I need a couple minutes.
Okay. Yeah, can we please stay with Scouty for a little bit?
No worries. I mean, I
that's why I came back over here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So, yeah, I'll, we can stick with Scouty for a minute. So, we'll go over what's been going on with him for a moment. I apprise chat to where we are right now.
I think Scouty had another question for Lorthamar before he left. You guys can, like, do that.
Okay. You got another question for Lorthamar? As he sweeps into his excessive bow.
Clearly. Actually, Lorthamar, I have a question.
For you know many things. Hey, P-More.
P-More! I've seen Orgrimmar.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lovely city.
And Lorthamar snorts.
But tell me, or more or less, may I ask, show me your city.
You want to see Silvermoon?
Mm-hmm. And then maybe possibly see what I'm truly fighting for and see the ravages of what happened at the Undercity. If that's quite alright with you.
Lothamar looks at you and goes, I'm unable to show you the Undercity, but
okay.
I can show you what is my city. Lothamar holds up his hand, his single eye closed. It reopens, and a portal opens in front of you. After you.
Alright, okay, step through the portal.
Lorthamar follows right behind you, and you find yourself transported to Silvermoon. You look around, and you see the bustle of a city. Beautiful architecture. Blood elves interacting. Work being done. This is a beautiful city. Lorthamar goes, follow me.
I follow him.
This is the new Silvermoon. Let me show you the old. You walk into a portion of the city that is completely desolate, destroyed, in ruins. This is old Silvermoon. This is the history Sylvanas remembers. The ground is blackened. Buildings are crumbled. You don't feel any life in this area. You wish to see the Undercity, but I can describe to you the scene that occurred there. The Undercity has been destroyed. It is inhabitable. We have blighted it. While we won't have it, neither will the Alliance.
Fair enough. Sometimes the ends justify the means.
Lorthamar, staring at his broken piece of the entirety of old Silvermoon. You sound like Kael'thas. He was the prince. He was our prince. He was going to lead us. And instead he was corrupted by demons. The ends don't always justify the means. Sylvanas knows that. And we know that. Hopefully the Alliance understands that as well.
Hopefully.
Is there anything else you wish to see, Gnome?
Not that you would be able to take me to. I don't want to risk anyone's life today.
Lorthamar nods. Let us return to Orgrimmar. He holds his palm out. His eye closes again. The portal opens. Go ahead and enter.
I enter the portal. Back to Orgrimmar.
Lorthamar enters behind you. Lorthamar looks at you as he re-arrives. If I were you and I wanted to meet up with my friends, I'd probably head to where the war chief is going.
Question. Do I notice any dagger that might have been dropped by a certain ally of mine still on the ground, or has it been whisked away?
There's been a lot of cleaning.
All right.
A lot of construction is going on in this area.
All right. I thank Kel'Thas or Lorthamar.
There you go. Lorthamar again sweeps in his bow. He goes,
before I head off, do you need me to help you with anything else?
I think you've done enough here, Gnome. I appreciate your help. Know that you do a service to the Horde, but we all know that you're still Alliance. He turns on a heel and starts walking away.
I gotta tell you, I step out the front gate, summon my spectral pony, and head on my way towards Ratchet.
So you're headed through Durotar.
Yup.
This'll be quite the travel. While it took your friends about a day and a half to get there.
Because they stopped to rest. I don't need sleep.
That is true. And at this point, we need to switch over to Tamara and Gareth.
So is it morning?
It is morning.
Okay, I can wake up before Gareth. We can leave him in bed to sleep it off a bit.
Okay.
All right.
Nani? Gareth, there is no motion, only you hear a loud snoring coming from Gareth's room. Thank you for the follow, Ren. Welcome in.
I make my way downstairs to the tavern to see if anybody's around.
The goblins are busy with their day's preparations. The innkeeper is moving around. There appears to be a breakfast set up on the table. The smell of bacon, the smell of eggs, bread, a different meal, quality of meal than that which was served yesterday. This appears to be pretty edible.
Do I see anybody, or is it just the food?
Just the goblins.
Like, just the same ones from last night? Nobody knew?
Nobody knew.
What do you call him? Starts with a B?
The Bruiser?
Bruiser. Yeah, he's not there?
The Bruiser is not there yet.
Okay. I kind of nod good morning to the goblins that turn to look at me as I walk into the room. And I sit down and I make myself a plate of eggs and bread, but I leave the bacon for Gareth don't touch the bacon. And it's the first time that I've actually allowed myself to kind of eat and like recover since, you know, before Orgrimmar, I guess.
The meal is delicious. You are amazed by the flavors that are occurring in the food. You do feel the weight of everything crashing upon you. You've been pushing yourself to this point with all the emotion that has occurred. The return of the Lich King, the removal of the Lich King, the reunification with you and your cousin, the time in Orgrimmar.
I continue to eat my food, and as I'm chewing the bread, a single tear falls out of my eye and down my cheek and goes to the corner of my mouth, and I can taste the salt of my tear as I'm chewing the bread, and just kind of wipe it away and continue eating so nobody notices.
The innkeeper walks over and sits down at the bench across from you. You've been through a lot, eh?
I look up, unmoved. Hasn't everybody?
It's a world we live in, isn't it?
I nod. It is.
You and that guy up there. You're SI7. I know.
Everybody appears to know.
He looks at you. Goes, the armor you wear, the way you carry yourselves, it's very apparent. You're not two travelers. You're not farmers. You're not soldiers. You're agents. It's obvious. Especially him. He's a rogue. You got a special talent to be exploring my basement. How's that wine list? Is he ripping me off? What do you think?
I didn't mean to be,
You're doing what you do. You're spies.
Exactly.
It's
We're
fine.
Just making sure that it was safe, and from what I could tell, he's doing a very good job with your inventory.
You try. You're trying to get home, and I can respect that. This isn't your home. This isn't your continent. It was your continent, and I feel bad for part of it. I wasn't part of that. But I have no love for the Alliance.
Darnassus was more of an island, but I appreciate your compassion and your empathy. It does not go unnoticed.
The goblin nods. Understand. You got a long way to go. And getting out of this city ain't gonna be easy either.
Come in, 1 second.
You hear shouting from...
We hear Garrett shout from upstairs, and he's waking up, and I'm coming. 1 second. We purchased a passage on a boat to Kalimdor.
The goblin laughs. He goes, "You purchased time with Gazlowe. Understand that getting to the Eastern Kingdoms is going to be harder."
Well, everything is.
This is a different world than it was. We aren't allies anymore. There's lines drawn now. The map is very much set. He looks. Your gold is all the same. But I wonder, what are we doing? You know, if I ever see that son of a bitch Renzik come around here, I'll be sure to bust him up real good. He turned his back on his fellow goblins. That's not something you can do. But That's for us to figure out. Not for you to be involved. But now you are.
I'm used to it.
You've lived a long time, haven't you?
As long as most night elves, but yes.
He nods.
I begin to make my way downstairs, feeling extremely well rested, all things considered. Perhaps a boon of something that I detest. The smell of bacon lingers in the air. My eyes dart towards it.
The goblin innkeeper points to the table. Eat up. It's paid for.
Interesting. One would think you'd serve as kings this morn, on account of what was served last night.
You got a long day. You might as well break your fast. Well.
I fill my plate.
I'll leave you two to your conversation. He looks to Mara. Take care, man.
You as well, Goblin.
He nods. Makes his way to the front. Behind the counter.
I look at Gareth while he's partaking in his breakfast. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of lower my eyes to like meet his gaze so that he sees I'm trying to talk to him. And I kind of half whisper, he knew we were SI7. We have to be more careful about how we carry ourselves. The garments we wear, the way we come off is too obvious.
I see. Perhaps I am a bit flashy for a common traveler.
The bruiser that is arranging our meeting. What's his name? With
Gazlo.
Yes, Gazlo. Should be here any minute. So get your energy, eat up. We have a big day ahead of us.
The food is delicious. It is by far some of the best you have had in a while. As you partake, you're a rap on the door jamb to the inn, and the Goblin Bruiser walks in. What's going on?
I motion to him to come join us, sit down.
Bruiser holds up his hand. I've already eaten. City God.
Is Gazlo ready for our meeting?
Yeah, he's ready whenever you are. It's best not to keep him waiting, though. He's a busy man.
Alright. I get up from my food.
I put some bread in my bag.
And, I nod at the innkeeper who fed us and head towards the bruiser to exit.
The innkeeper nods. Take care of yourselves. You leave the building, and you notice a large bustle going around in Ratchet. Busier than yesterday. It's obvious that something has them preparing. Not militarily, but more so just busy work.
City's a buzz.
Yeah, we got a lot of things going on today. The Bruiser says as he walks.
No.
You have more refugees than I've seen in quite a while.
Everybody's trying to get to where they need to. We're the only independent port right now. And There's people that look like you that don't want to be here anymore. And there's people that don't look like you that don't want to be here anymore. He says as he continues to walk towards a much larger building, adorned in gears and hammers and all sorts of machinery.
Go in.
Continue forward. Bruiser goes, "This is it." He stops at what appears to be a receptionist. Are these the people? He nods. Mr. Gaslow is right inside. Go on in.
Thank you.
Bruiser goes, "We're done." Punches the desk and walks away.
I head into the room.
All right.
Same.
Inside of said room, you see a goblin behind a desk, flanked by 2 bruisers. Machinery scattered every which way inside. Tools everywhere. One thing you do notice, especially, on the wall, an SI-7 cloak.
What's its quality? Is it taken care of, or does this seem to be some form of trophy from a battle?
It is definitely a trophy. And behind the desk, a goblin. Nothing extraordinary. A big nose adorning his head. Sees you walk in and tries to be very dramatic, spinning in his chair as you walk in the door. I've been expecting you. Come in, come in. Have a seat.
I sit down.
All right.
Our tokens are...
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know how that... How do I put them below yours?
I don't know.
Right click on us and bring to front.
How do I... Right click. To front.
There we go.
There we go. There. That's easier.
Right.
There we go. So what can I help you with?
I look to Gareth.
We hear you're the best way to get out of here. You've got a ship.
Gaslow chuckles a little bit under his breath and goes, "Yeah, I got a ship. And it's getting out of here. And you can get on it."
What's the destination?
Booty Bay.
What's the cost?
Gaslow turns and looks at his cloak. 50.
Each?
1,000.
And then I guess we're walking.
Good luck.
Swimming? Who do you think you are charging that amount of money? That is completely unreasonable. Obviously, you have no intention of letting us cross. So why didn't you just say so?
Gazlo chuckles. Listen, one of my bruisers comes in here, says that he finds a couple of SI-7 agents just wandering around, paying to get into the city, gonna pay to see me. I wanted to see the look on your face when I said 50,000, I'm not gonna lie.
This is a game to you?
Sweetheart, everything's a game. Just how can you make money playing that game? I'm not a part of the Horde, but yet I built Orgrimmar. I made a lot of money doing that. I have no love for the Alliance, but I still do business with them. When you're a merchant, everything is a game. And I'm not just a merchant, I'm an engineer. The best one. So understand that this is a negotiation. So calm down and let's talk.
Yeah, let's talk. We don't have time for this. Name your price so we can be on our way.
A bruiser walks over, whispers in Gazlo's ear. And then walks back over. Gazlo brings a finger to his mouth, as so. What are you willing to give?
We don't have much left.
Well, what you got?
I have a few hundred left on me. Any more than that, and I'm gonna have to go to the bank.
I am the bank. He laughs. Looks to Gareth. What about you?
What you see.
I motion towards Gareth and I say, I speak for him as far as finances go.
Oh, she's the purse strings now? All right. He nods, gets more comfortable in his chair. The other bruiser walks over and whispers into Gazlo's ear. And you see Gazlo getting visibly annoyed. Yeah, I know.
What's the problem, Gazlo?
Listen. My bruises just need to tell me things from time to time, and, you know, we're doing, goblin stuff, you know, what you guys think is funny, you know.
You may enjoy games. I don't.
Gazlo smiles and turns to Gareth. I think I know the price. You're SI-7, right?
What of it?
You need to give me Renzik.
And here I thought 50,000 was an absurd request.
What, you can't
That's
get some goblin?
That's not someone that we have access to. We cannot give you something that we don't have.
I'm not saying right now.
We don't even know where Renzik is. Yeah, why do you... I know why, but what...
The other bruiser, seemingly a bit more forceful, goes to Gazlo.
While the Bruiser and the Gazler are whispering to each other, I look over at Gareth and I whisper to him, last night the innkeeper informed me that Resnick is hated in this parts. He's completely condemned for his actions, and they all want his blood for vengeance. So that he knows what the hell's going on. And then I shut up.
The Bruiser returns to his post. Gazlo, looking visibly shaken now, goes, So we got a deal?
No. No deal.
Gazlo.
I guess we'll just stay here a little bit longer.
Yeah, I've grown fond of the food.
As you say this, and Gazlo kind of scratches his face, kind of pulls at his ear. He's like, hey, we can make it. And as he goes to finish that sentence, you hear in the distance a horn. Gazlo looks over to his Bruiser. Really? Now? The ground begins to tremble. The floor shakes. Gazlo leans back in his chair. He goes, well, this is gonna be fun. The horn gets louder. The thundering grows louder. The receptionist opens the door. Sir? Yeah, when she gets here, send her in.
Send her in.
The horns are now deafeningly loud from outside. And just as the thundering began, it stops. You hear the creaking of floorboards outside. A single stride. The door flings open.
Oh,
The
God,
Sylvanas
this
Windrunner.
bitch.
She looks in and immediately starts shouting at Gazlo, but notices you two. She regards you for a moment and strides past you. Do you know how to keep time, Goblin? Yeah, but, money and, they're trying to get on a ship. I gotta... we're working this out right now. Give me 5 more minutes, War Chief. She looks at Gareth and then over at Mara. Just let them on the ship. Yeah, for a price, definitely. I just let them on the ship. You're done with your business here. Gazlo rubs his face. Ratchet ain't part of the Horde. And she goes, I understand that. We have talks. You were aware of this. Do I need to become ruler of Ratchet right now? No. We can work. They want to get on a ship? I mean, they're just 2 people, right? That's a big ship out there. We can just put them on the deck, right? You can help out, right? You can help out, right? You can run the stern, or I'm no sailor. But let's say free of charge. Favor from me to you. How about that?
How about that? Mara?
You seem nervous, Goblin.
I got business to attend to.
It's not what you were telling us a moment ago.
Times change.
Yeah, just a couple of minutes. Time changes pretty fast here.
Well, you want on the ship or not? I mean, come on. I'm giving you free passage. You go into Booty Bay, you get on your continent, you can find your way from there.
Who is Sylvanas looking at?
Gazlo.
Sounds great to me. I stand up.
I stand up as well, but I don't say anything.
Without anything else, I make my exit. No
All
word.
All right.
I walk towards the door, but I do not exit. I turn around and I peer towards Sylvanas, but I don't look directly at her. And I say, this is the last time that you and I will meet, and the next time, one of us is going to die. And I leave and shut the door before she can respond, because I don't give a fuck.
She wasn't going to respond anyways. She didn't expect one. The door shuts, you two leave.
I'm gonna kill her. I'm gonna kill her.
Yeah, just delete those.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna kill her.
Don't do it.
Bitch needs to die. I've had it. I'm done.
You need to die.
The bruiser.
You are dead.
The receptionist leads you out to the port, as Wretched is not a large city. And you board the ship. Crewed by goblins, of course. Because why wouldn't it be? You notice a large amount of refugees entering as well.
I doubt they had such fortunate pricing.
Refugees are thanking the goblins as they walk on. As they go under the deck. The captain looks around, goes, "Are we clear to push off?" All the deckhands, "Aye!" The ropes come untied from the moorings, and the ship begins to float freely. However, there is a thundering on the docks. A charger races down, leaps across the water, making the jump onto the ship. How odd that there would be an undead pony charger.
Shit, this is me.
And on the deck lands Hammerstein.
I eye him with the fury of 1,000 suns.
Long time no see, eh?
I pick him up by his throat and lift him 12 feet off the ground because he's 1 foot tall.
I'm 3 feet tall, madam.
And I squeeze my grip on his larynx, and I'm fuming with purple fire, and just I don't even know. You're so lucky that I'm not killing you right now. Can I throw him off the boat? Can I throw him off the boat?
You're capable of it right now, yes.
I'm okay. I picked him up by his took him and I took his little fucking ass off the boat into the water.
All right. Well, let's have some rolls here. Let's Was it
Come
strength?
at me, bruh.
Strength, I would say. So.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't fucking
Can I try to break out of her grip?
Why don't you try to
already
break out of her grip first? Yeah.
So, using strength, you say?
Yeah, using strength.
Okay!
Didn't expect this one, did you? Here we go. It's a whole other. Oh shit! What is my strength? I don't know.
Okay,
Where's-
so the
Wait,
frail.
I got no strength.
Okay.
Come on,
Okay.
come on. Just breathe.
The
It's gonna
shitty
be
roll,
okay.
but a nice good old modifier to my strength. Great.
Oh my god, my strength is literally 0.
As,
Give it all.
as Carrie is holding Hammerstein in the air,
Well,
her
that
arm,
didn't work.
her arm collapses, and basically Hammerstein just breaks free from pure weight and lands flat on his feet. Mara shakes her hand. There's a lot of pain in it right now. Just, let me see. Deny that.
Not hear me.
There you go. So, Hammerstein
Holding my
stands up.
hand, gritting my teeth in pain. I look over at Hammerstein. I'm like, "Speak, Death Knight."
I will speak. But you don't have to, throw me off a boat for me to speak.
What are you doing here?
I never said I was going to change factions.
It was obvious. It was all over your face. Your heart has obviously changed. There's only one reason that you could be here, and that's to be Sylvanas' little pet.
Or did you forget the mission?
The
The
mission
mage that we were supposed to find.
in Silvermoon?
I see. Stepping down the stairs.
You can't say that. You don't know that.
I had a nice good old gander with them.
In Silvermoon. You went to Silvermoon.
You don't know that.
What? No, remember when we talked to Lothamar about Silvermoon?
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, sorry.
RD20, roll check my DM. Yeah. Yeah, you went to Silvermoon?
Did go to Silvermoon.
Hold on.
Got there
Sorry.
pretty fast.
No. Go lay down.
Yeah, you know what? Helping the innocent have their burials kind of helps when you show some ethics and some sympathy. Towards anyone.
If you think I'm letting you come back to SI7, S1, why do I keep doing that?
No, it is SI7.
Okay.
SI7.
No,
You're
nobody. Okay, I keep. Okay. If you think I'm gonna let you come back and be a spy underneath Captain Matthias Shaw, you.
I didn't know you were Matthias Shaw.
I'm not, but I'm not letting you go back there as Sylvanas' little pet spy.
I never said I was a spy.
You never said that you weren't, you tricky little Death Knight.
But I never said I was gonna change sides. Why don't you trust me?
You never said you didn't, and I will never trust you. You abandoned us. I saw the
The what?
sympathy in your eyes. I saw your eyes.
Yes, sympathy.
You don't
Towards,
have a heart.
loss of... Yeah, I actually don't. That hurts. It's a low blow.
You don't have a
don't.
heart. So I can't
Literally
say you had
don't
a
have.
genuine heart.
You know what? At least I, kept my morals.
Your morals?
Innocent people died.
Working with the innocent people always die. On both sides. That doesn't mean that you can be Sylvanas' little bitch.
I never said I was her bitch. Why do you have so much disdain for me just
You've
because
been
I
gone
stayed?
for quite a while, and you show up out of nowhere right as the boat is taking off on an undead death charger, and you think that I'm not gonna have questions? What kind of agent are you?
Agent, I am a death knight. I can make my own ponies.
You're a
Nah.
traitor. You're not an agent. As far as I'm concerned, you did switch sides. And you are a spy, and you cannot be trusted.
Whatever.
Can you prove that I otherwise? Can you
I
prove
mean-
anything that you're saying?
And can you prove anything I'm saying? I take my leave and I'm gonna head towards the front of the boat.
You can move
Fuming,
yourself.
I head towards the back of the boat, upset that my grip didn't throw him in the water.
As I'm saying on Clutter, wimp! There's my name calling.
Garrus sits bewildered in between.
That was quite the
Mom and
argument.
Dad are fighting again.
All right. Anything else?
I think I've screamed at him enough, don't you?
Gareth?
I think he knows how I feel.
I think it's damage control time.
All right.
Oh,
I'm
Garrus
Mr.
is playing
Median.
mediator. Yeah, right?
I walk to the bow of the ship first. Head over to Hammerstein.
I'll move you.
So,
Oh, yeah, I'm at the back. Sorry.
Thank you for the follow, Dax.
Hype.
Hi, Dax.
now,
Time no see here.
what was your time in Orgrimmar?
It was eventful, to say the least. Went toe to toe with the Thanos. Don't want to talk about it. Quite the spectacle.
Why would you have gone toe to toe with such a general?
I didn't. Sylvanas wanted me to prove my worth for everyone else.
'Cause you were a little bitch.
Prove your worth. What worth would you have for her?
I don't know. I told her the same thing. I want to see both sides of the story. But to, gain the acceptance of everyone else in an enemy territory, kind of gotta do what you gotta do. But I did learn that there were more humans in the prisons in Orgrimmar, but they were taken. Assumedly killed.
And so this leads to our wizard friend?
Quite possibly. Because he wasn't there.
Any leads?
Not at all. Like, if I started asking too many questions, suspicion would have been aroused, and
Sure. Nothing worse than suspicion cast upon you.
yeah. But we'll say two people knew early where my heart belongs. It wasn't Nathanos, but the war chief in Lorthamar.
Well, you must admit it is quite timely that you arrive just as the war chief of the Horde does.
Yeah, after my speaking with the prisoners, I headed down and just heard rumors about things and ran to Lorthamar himself and, did my raising of skeletons to help bury the innocent lives that were lost. And he asked me if I needed anything, and I asked him for just a simple tour of Silvermoon and then where the war chief was headed off to. And since I don't need rest, nor does my horse I can summon, just went on full blast towards Ratchet. Since me being undead, thinking that any night elf would help me, might as well go to a neutral territory. See if I can catch a ride.
I see.
The ship
Clearly.
is now at sea. The port is fading in the rear view.
So purely by coincidence, you've arrived on the same ship as us.
And clearly, one of you two does not seem to have a welcoming arm back for their small compatriot.
Oh, I've extended no arms to you.
I know, but you haven't shown me disdain or distrust yet, to say the least. Because even though you haven't extended an arm, it's a lot better than, being threatened to be thrown off a boat.
Can I throw him off the boat again?
No, you already failed.
Nah! I will eat your liver with a bottle of nice Chianti and fava beans.
Okay, I don't have a liver though. I'm dead.
SI7 does appreciate your hard work in delivering this information.
This is tough.
Perhaps do some thinking over of your story before we arrive. If you're to follow us back to headquarters, you're going to need a better story. And I walk away.
Alright.
Heading to the stern, I lean over the railing next to Mara. Well, I don't think his intentions are betrayal. But I do think he plays a dangerous game.
I agree.
And unfortunately, at a great cost with no benefit.
I agree.
We have no leads. And according to him, our wizard is not in Silvermoon. So, 3 days or longer, gone by the wayside, wasted. Nothing gained, only lost.
He's gonna be a problem.
Oh.
Well, no.
What? No. Where are you going?
Yes!
No,
it worked!
no,
I threw him off the boat with my vine!
No, my
Oh!
fucking.
I cast
thing
mind
is
control
going-
on him, and I make him walk off the plank into the water, get eaten by
I
sharks.
don't think
The
this
spell
does have a
fails.
I get your attention.
I'm just trying to like move casually,
Oh,
and
so-
like things going ballistic.
He's dangerous to have around us. He could be reporting directly back to Sylvanas herself.
There we go. He'll be down on the mast.
Sylvanas knew where we were. She walked right in there.
And didn't say a word. She didn't even acknowledge us.
She
We're just
didn't need
pawns
to.
on her chessboard, Gareth.
And that's how she sees us.
And how do you see us, Gareth?
How do I see us? I see a couple of fucks that lost their glasses. And now they're crawling around on the floor, not standing to look up around themselves. No matter how blurred the sight may be, it's better than the cobblestone. Yet cobblestone is what we stare at. I think we've lost direction. I think it was poor to send us three out on such a task. I think I'm done.
I look off into the distant horizon and I say, I've already lost one companion this trip. Why not two? I will go on my mission alone as I always have.
It's so dramatic. I preferred solo missions. Less emotion.
I turn back to stare coldly at Gareth, and I say, there's safety in numbers, are there not? That encounter with, fuck, what's the undead guy's name?
Which one?
The,
Belmont.
The B.
Belmont.
Yeah, thank you. That encounter with Belmont and Aleska, you handled that better on your own?
Maybe. Maybe I would have been able to finally put it all behind me. Either by eviscerating that which torments me, or being eviscerated, and in thus that which torments me.
I scoff at him. You're a liar. If that were true, you wouldn't be on the ship right now. You would have stayed back in Ratchet.
Why?
To have a chance to see her again and end your story and get your closure that you say here on this ship in the middle of the ocean in safety that you would have done if you had just been alone.
She's dead, Mom.
She's undead, Gareth.
No. That is not Alaska.
She spoke
That is
of
not
love
the girl
for you.
I knew. She spoke of shit. It's been years. If she left to find me, look at her. She's an adult. She had died as an adult. Something else happened. Somebody's trying to get to me. I don't play games.
You note the goblin movement on the ship.
We at the edge of the ship. Are they looking at something?
There seems to be a lot more movement from them all over the ship. And two goblins are speaking to each other.
I walk up to one of the goblins.
Go ahead. Which one?
What's the one this one?
This one is the captain. The one towards the back.
Walk up to the captain. What's going on?
We think we see sails.
Can you tell if they're friend or foe yet?
It's too far.
How fast can we travel? Can we outrun them?
I don't know. I don't know what they are. They're far.
Can we try?
We'll do our best, man.
How far are we from Booty Bay?
About a day.
There's a lot of people on this ship.
You're away from everyone. Do you want to be near them, Gareth?
Sure.
Go ahead and ask.
No, it was just a statement.
Oh, sorry. There was a large population that entered this ship. Yes.
Who knew of this voyage?
One would assume Booty Bay. Gazlow. Maybe the war chief. We don't know.
Is there anything more than people on this vessel?
No. On my honor. On my honor. Agent. I promise you.
He says agent, I give him a cold look.
I promise you that the only thing we're transporting here are people. These are people that need to get overseas. And we understand that. Me and my crew will try to do that the best we can. This is not a warship, though. We have to understand that, too.
I do. And for their sake, I hope you do.
He nods.
Has Hammerstein taken note?
I have.
The goblin towards the front of the ship yells out, "Two sails!" Captain. Shit. Excuse me. Captain goes to the front of the ship. The two goblins discuss. He returns to the wheel. I don't know if they see us, but there are 2 ships, and that's generally not good news. There's a bunch of other... The Kultirans hunt in 2s.
Tyrants.
He nods. We'll try to sneak on through.
I stand by.
The ship continues to sail, but the sails are growing bigger in the distance. The goblin, one of the goblins rings the bell to sound the alarm. There's a bit of panic underground, under deck, I should say. The first mate walks over. Expect to have to negotiate. He goes, I do the talking, okay? Don't worry.
Perhaps it's best I turn tomorrow. If these goblins didn't have suspicious lot loitering around.
Is there some kind of storage or a place below deck that you can conceal us? It's safer for everyone if it looks like we're not here.
You can go under the decks. Don't worry. We'll take care of this for you.
I completely disregard Hammerstein, but I kind of nod at Gareth and I head below deck.
All right.
I take a last survey around before heading under.
All right.
What does Hammerstein do?
Do I take notice of them going under deck?
Roll a perception.
Roll perception!
Okay.
You're looking at clouds.
Yeah.
Oh, look, a butterfly!
Yeah.
Look at the butterfly!
Oh, look, an 18!
Ah, Jesus. Yeah.
Hammerstein
Nothing, no.
takes immediate note that his two
Alright, I
party
head
members
below deck
go
as
in.
well.
All right.
Alright. Below deck, I'm peering around for
Shit, why is my
boards or
camera
some
fucking
kind
around?
of secret cargo stash, maybe for illegal goods or something we can hide in.
The second that you go below deck, you realize what
It's
this ship is carrying.
some sketchy goods.
There are people shoulder to shoulder throughout the entire bottom deck of this ship. There is no room for anything else.
What?
There is no goods.
People?
It is simply people, humans, orcs, goblins,
Are they-
trolls.
Are they
Are they
armored? Do they have
chained?
Nope.
No chains?
They are
No
all
armor?
clothed.
Refugees just traveling.
Yeah.
He's like a coyote. He's just smuggling people. Oh,
The people are just looking around. He goes, they look at the 3 walking under. Crowd goes, we okay?
we're not wanting to create panic in a space so small. I lie, and I say, we're fine. Looks like there might be some choppy weather ahead. We came below deck for safety. You know how those large waves can blow you off the deck. It's best we stay down here for the time being.
A human turns to a young child next to them and goes, just choppy weather. Don't worry, child. We'll be to our continent soon.
I clench my jaw, and I stay in the stairwell next to the door, my hand on the handle, my ear pressed.
You hear movement about up on top deck. Goblins running around, getting ready. Preparing for what may come.
Can I cast something?
What are you going to cast?
Can I cast something, please?
What do you want to cast?
What do you want
I
to
wanna-
cast?
I want to cast an a globe of invulnerability, putting an anti-magic shield force field around the ship, protecting it from magic damage.
Okay.
Can I do that?
You can.
Yay! Bam, son!
Okay.
What do I roll?
So you don't have to roll. You just cast
Alright. Fuck it. I casted it. That's right.
that. Okay.
In case of combat, I ready my bone shield.
My ass.
The people underground, under deck, I should say, grow a little wary at the casting that is going on.
Simply prayer.
Some people nod. An orc in the back stares. And then just...
and nods slowly
He nods back.
before turning my attention back to the door.
I shadow form and kind of conceal myself behind the crowd of people.
The bell rings again from the upper deck. The crowd grows a little restless. You hear the goblins going, "All right, here they come." The smuggling ship comes to a stop with a Kultiran Dreadwake. The captain calls out, "That'll be far enough. Thank you very much. What is your port of destination?" "Booty Bay. We fly the colors of Ratchet. This is an independent ship." "No need. We'll allow you to inspect our cargo." The captain laughs, magically amplifying his voice. "If there are any allied races under deck, please come out and return to this Kultiran ship."
Do we listen?
Are the Kultirans...
They are Alliance faction.
They are big, burly humans.
Yes.
And they're with Jaina Proudmoore?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I repeat, any allied factions, please come aboard deck, and you will be spared. This causes a ripple of anxiety under deck.
I open the door and step out.
All right.
Close it behind me. I adjust my clothing. Gareth Kane. Pleasure.
Hail, Gareth. Coming over, I would assume.
One question. On whose order do you come to this ship?
A chuckle ripples through the Kultiran ship. On my order. I am the captain, after all.
Of course. Well, you must know that this ship is under my protection.
And who are you, Gareth Kane?
A man of authority. One seeking passage back to Alliance territory. If we were not to run into you, this ship would continue on its way.
The captain shifting his weight.
There's no boon here for you.
Are there any orcs, trolls, undead, Tauren, under deck?
Do I have to roll a deception?
You do. If that's what you intend to do, yes.
I furrow my brow.
May the dice be with you.
Let me think. For a moment, everything's still. Even the waves stop. My heart begins to pound. And for once, it's not anger, but anxiety. Is this the right decision? And I turn back. You know what? I don't think so. Not since I checked.
The captain looks to his first mate. Are you sure?
You have my word.
Can I try something?
Yes.
Okay. I take off all my magical abilities. They're gone. And you said there was women below deck, right?
Yep.
Human women and
Yep.
and okay. I kind of make my way around and I get them in a little group and I'm like, come here. And I whisper to them, I'm like, all right, now I want you guys to giggle. I want you guys to laugh like you are having the best time in your lives. All right? As soon as I give you the signal. And I strip off my armor and I kind of like my under armor, my clothes, I kind of tear at it so that like, you know, I'm kind of exposed but not really. And I come up on deck slowly, kind of, you know, staggeringly. And I walk over to Gareth and I wrap my arm around him and I'm like, what's going on, babe? Aren't you coming back down to join me and the girls? And at that moment, I kind of make that signal to where the girls below deck start giggling and laughing, and I wink at Gareth and kind of like suggestively, like hitherto come, you know, back to your harem underneath the deck. Look,
I let out a boisterous laugh.
I'm trying something here.
It seems you've caught me, my lads.
The Colterans all start talking amongst themselves, just a clamor of a free thought. The captain goes, "Quiet, all you!" You to tell me that the goblins are allowing a harem below deck.
Harem? Do you not know who you speak to? This is Gareth Kane. We are no harem. We are all of his wives.
It's quite all right, my dear. They are simple-minded men. They do not know.
Clearly.
These goblins are under my charge, paid by my purse. Again, we seek passage back to allied lands, for the turmoil between the factions has grown quite intense. I found that the only place where I could truly have acceptance for my way of life was amongst them. Though now we seek protection.
And my sister's having a wedding. She's marrying a Draenei. We gotta get back.
God
Haste
fucking damn
is
it.
of utmost importance.
Taste.
He
The
doesn't know what to do
Kultirans.
with us right now, chat.
The Kultirans once more. You strike up a conversation. The captain finally goes, enough! Understand you went to Allied waters. Keep your head down.
Aye. As far down between these legs as I can get, huh?
That starts another conversation amongst all the other Kultirans on the ship. The captain is like, I swear to God. Let this lot through. There's no reason for us to spill any blood.
We thank you, good lad. And with that, I pick Mara up off her feet and I head back below deck. And put
I
her
giggle.
back down.
I giggle. Once downstairs, I immediately just like push off of him and go back to like get my clothes on.
The goblins return to their stations. The Kultirans, eyeing the ship, let it pass through. And as the ship sails by, and the black sails of the Kultiran fleet fade, we bring ourselves to the close of Chapter 6.
Oh, what a great ending.
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
I can't believe you let that work.
Yeah, it worked. Hey,
Yay!
sometimes you
What
gotta
would
let
happen
things.
if I wouldn't have done that?
I'll talk about that after. I don't want to give them.
Okay.
I don't want to give anything up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No. So,
that's good.
everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. I know that we ran a little late, but I thank you so much for hanging in there.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Everybody in chat, right? In Discord. I will see you all in a second. We won't take too long, but just to go over a couple of things.
We'll see you next week.
But thank you all again. I hope you all have a great evening. Have a great rest of the week. We will see you next Tuesday. Big stuff next Tuesday. Big stuff next Tuesday.
Big stuff next Tuesday.
You're not
Oh,
gonna
no.
you're not gonna want to miss this because there's a surprise coming.
Oh no.
And you have
It's my dick in a box.
it's Gareth's dick in a box. Not that.
It's
But
Gareth.
thank you all for the follows. That was awesome, and thank you all for the raids. Thank you for everything. You guys are great, and we will see you next week. So I'm gonna go to the end screen. We're gonna go to the credits, I think, and we're gonna let some music go. So yeah, that one.
Yep.
Take care.
Good night, guys. Thank you.